watching and waiting for the right time to take everything you own. I love a dark house.
Don't be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone is inside watching TV and makes your home unappealing to would-be thieves.
Don't these people ever leave?
Starting at $24.95, and there's free shipping. Go to faketv.com or ask for it at your local hardware store. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight. I have Lionel on the phone with us, and Paul Joseph Watson is joining us from the UK. Now, as we were going to break, we were talking about, as Lionel had put it, there's so many different doors to this. We have the excessive use of force, the militarization of the police, the way they're trained, the way they're equipped. And then, of course, we also can look at the grand jury, why there are so few indictments of the police when they do this. And I have a question for Lionel. Is it maybe because if some of these police officers were indicted for doing what they're trained to do, doing what they're equipped to do, which we as a society need to have this discussion as to whether or not we want militarized police? I sure don't. And if they're indicted for some of this stuff, would they sue their employers, the system? Is that why the system apparently is going so easy on them? Because it would essentially be liable if this started to come out.
Well, we get a problem with immunity. That's because we don't want to hamstring the police. Mm-hmm. We don't want to have them say, because God forbid, David, somebody is attacking you or your family. You don't want the police officer saying, I'd normally be a little bit more aggressive in helping out David here, but I don't think I want to risk the chance of civil liability, so I think I'm going to back off a little bit. So we obviously don't want that.
Sure.
But David, may I ask you something, sir? Do you remember a time, perhaps maybe we're in the same, I don't know if it's generation, but I know instances where friends of mine can tell me a time when they were out acting like a fool. Police officer came home and brought them home, knocked on the door and said, Mrs. Knight, yeah, well, David here has been acting up. Why you?
Oh, yeah.
And they can tell these stories. Norman Rockwell,
yes.
The picture of the little boy who runs away. Granted, it's a kid. There are views from Sheriff Andy to Adam 12 to Dragnet, Bumper Morgan, the Blue Knight, and all of a sudden, the idea of the police officer as being wise, the guy in the community, the one who ran the traffic signal on Sundays when church let out, that image has been changed. I want people to Google this. I told somebody this and they didn't believe it. Look at the number of cases where people have been denied applications to police forces because their IQs were too high.
Yeah, there was actually a lawsuit about that.
Yes.
And the guy lost. They wouldn't hire him as a cop because they said his IQ was too high. He sued them, and they said, no, they don't have to hire you. Your IQ is too high.
If we are going, and I'm telling you right now, look no further. Go back to the TSA, look to the feds, and look to how people handled that. Look to how not only do we have this new brand of G-men, but how we became kind of systematically acclimated, dare I say, another door. So we might want to consider this. Why don't we just abolish the grand jury? Why don't we seriously, we can do it. There's no reason why we can't. Pass a constitutional amendment or a state statute, just say we're done with this, and have the prosecutor, like in other jurisdictions, like in the state of Florida, the only time you use a grand jury is if it's for first-degree murder or some type of investigation. That's
right.
But just sign the affidavit, sign the indictment, sign it yourself. What are we doing this for? Have accountability. Have the police officer or have special prosecutors. That's another thing. Have statewide prosecutors or a law that says when you have a police officer in, let's say, the city of Austin, You don't have the Austin DA prosecute somebody that by virtue of natural affinity and propinquity and professional relationships, let's automatically bring in another prosecutor. Change the system, address it.
I agree.
Many
I
more
agree.
doors.
Yeah, and we've had, Serpico, who went through this whole ringer. He has said that we have to have outside oversight in this, and what outside means, whether that means from another jurisdiction or whatever that means, that has to be there. Thank you so much for joining us, Lionel, out of New York. And we have, and your website is, give them your website, Lionel. We've got a couple of seconds.
LionelMedia.com, and my Twitter handle is Lionel Media.